Dr. Marwa.
Hi,
The
Dr.
floor for
Hanadi.
you.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me in this respectful conference as usual.
More than welcome. I think Mr. Nawaf is there and Prof.wael is there. Dr. Marwa, you can speak about the importance of AI till Mr. Nawaf is joining.
Okay, how's everybody? I hope you are all fine, and I compliment, as usual, Dr. Hanadi Lambarki for having us in this great conference, which is, I believe, will boost the era of the AI and the technology as general in the region and in the Gulf area. Actually, as a professor, a professor in a university here in Egypt, and as a digital transformation and strategist consultant, I believe that we have a new era of, shifting towards all the AI technology and all the AI-based applications. As a professor, I see that there is a great effort that is done all over the universities in the Gulf and as well as in the MENA region to support all ideas that are related and that are, based on the AI technologies, the machine learning and the Internet of Things and the algorithms for, all the applications right now are being supported pretty much, especially supported as fundraisers, as the university researchers, we support as well the students and the postgrads to do researches about the AI, as it is an important topic and we are shifting towards the AI technology vastly. So there is a great importance and a great support that is needed to be done in this area.
Mr. Nawaf, it's there. I think so. It's ready to speak. Mr. Nawaf.
Hello, Mr. Nawaf. Actually, speaking about the best practices in the artificial intelligence ecosystem, we have here, Dr. Hanadi, as per the ecosystem of the entrepreneurship and in the researches, we have a great support, as I told you, in the era of the AI. We are now building an era of, a platform for supporting and funding the new ideas that are based on the AI for both the entrepreneurs and the students and the pre-grads in the universities, especially in the faculties of engineering and at the faculties of computer sciences and AI. So we are building a base for, what is called we are building an era of what is called an AI supporting platforms for the ideas that are supporting the Go Green, the healthcare, the automotives, all the ideas that are based on the robotics and how we are dealing with the new ideas of dealing with the robotics and the AI-based technologies. And we are having the very good cycle of approving the ideas from the ideation phase until we have pitch deck presentations for the investors to support these ideas with the fund and to get these ideas into the live use, to go live with it. We are building an approach.
Dr. Marwa, I think Nawaf is ready to speak.
الو السلام عليكم.
وعليكم
معلش
السلام.
انا بعتذر، يعني انا كنت معتقد الميعاد كمان ساعتين. هو انا بالنسبه لي المحاضره انا بعتها، لو تحب تشاريها وانا ممكن اتكلم عنها وهي موجوده. هو احنا كنا بنتكلم على best practice for AI ecosystem. في اول سلايد كنا بنتكلم عن what are the factors or what are the parameters which allow an ecosystem to operate. These parameters usually are political parameters like is really the government in this country really into digital domain? Like, do they operate in a digital way? Second parameter was economical parameter, which is, does this country really support technologies like transferring, like encryption, like security, like bandwidth, like what are the economy look like? We know, like in Saudi Arabia, for example, you moved to a knowledge-based economy back in 2010, 2012, they start to shift toward knowledge-based economy. Egypt in particular, they start to have a communication information technology back end and lots of economic activity
Dr.
in this
Wael, your
area.
voice is
The
not clear.
economical impact in this country. What is the factors? فاللي احنا بنقوله ان we have a best model. So the second one was the economy, so infrastructure. So if we look at Egypt inside the ecosystem or the African system, Egypt is one of the 7 countries which is on the AI readiness. It's ready for AI because the economy here in Egypt, we have lots of economy based on digitalization. So one factor of building an ecosystem is the digital economy in this particular nation. The third one, which is, in my opinion, almost all countries are failing in the MENA area, which is the technology, because we don't have technologies for AI, which is infrastructure technology. We always depend on cloud-based system, and we don't own the cloud, especially in countries outside Emirates. So Emirates and maybe Emirates is the only one which we know they have an Amazon-based cloud, but we don't know if the infrastructure will prohibit us in the future into building this ecosystem. The third one is the environmental, and the environment does not bother us too much because we don't have lots of hardware to suffer the environment. And the last one is the legislation or the legal. Egypt, for example, we have new policies and the new rules like GDRB, where we take private information and personal information into factors. And inside my slides, I mentioned this particular GDRB and what's on legal aspect. We also are doing right now in Egypt as supporting the ecosystem. We are doing lots of stuff around ethics and ethics in medical, ethics in standard education. There is 3 weeks ago, there was a document came from the Minister of Higher Education about employing AI, generative AI in particular, inside educational process in not a legal way, but in an ethical way. Also, majority of the universities over the last 3-4 months, they were giving educational and awareness to form the legal side. The other factor we mentioned as well in the second slide was the innovation. So if we want to build an ecosystem, we must have a form of innovation. And earlier on from MIT, we had a presentation that they define innovation as new creative idea which has a large impact. So we would like to have an innovation system or an innovation idea where we take this idea and have a large impact. The difficult scenarios we have in Egypt and in the Middle East is we are not known and we don't trust our homegrown ideas. And this is a fact. I'm not diminishing whatever we do in our society, but this is a fact. So for me to go to the Ministry of Health and the standardized AI diagnosing or AI detection system, it takes long time because basically they wanted to be tested elsewhere and it's homegrown, so there is no other place to test. However, in Egypt, we have some initiatives around using AI in some hospitals, like a hospital of 57, which basically a hospital for kids with cancer. We have also initiatives in some hospital occupancies, which is basically university-owned hospitals. However, this AI analysis or digital system, you can call it as large, still can suffer if they go outside this particular district or this particular university. So when we look at how we can build this ecosystem, we look also as investment, because investors is one of the largest I can say, the fuel which fuels the fire. And we do have lots of government-owned initiatives, lots of grants, lots of support, which come where we can support our small companies and startup companies in Egypt, that we can do this kind of technology. And maybe there are a couple of companies like Sue and other company, because Sue itself, before it becomes Amazon, which is, Sue used to be a recommender system. So it has some sort of AI machine learning. There is also a couple of other companies in Egypt have been acquired by external factors or external agencies to support the growth of these companies. The biggest issue, which will be in the slide number 3, we talk about, is data. Because we need to build AI technology, we need to have diverse of data. So, for example, if I look at medical health or medical diagnosing, we will find out that the experience in USA, like in Florida, they have lots, about 57 institutes information about
Dr. Wael, I think we are losing the connection.
in the Middle East. We should find a way to get diverse diversity of the patient, as well as this diverse, the Gulf regions and all of this. Good. We have all of this kind of close relation. We force that we can build a very strong because countries which have higher population and security, as well as they use. And in the following of my presentation, when you get them from the organizers, you will find we talk about transparency and these things. The two factors which we stop right now, that we don't have an ethical and legal system to penalize and secure users from abuse of the AI. And this is what may kill the whole ecosystem, because if we get a very strange laws, investors will not be interested. However, we come at the conclusion at the end that we are in the infancy of AI. We have some sort of ecosystem among different countries. We talk about Qatar, we talk about Emirates, we talk about Egypt, we talk about Saudi Arabia. We have lots of emphasis as well, and lots of projects coming from Canada, US, and Europe. However, we don't have yet a formalization. So we have a good chance to play in a very healthy ecosystem by getting money and investor from a place, getting population data from a place, getting technology in countries advanced like Emirates and Kuwait, and then we can build a Arabian level ecosystem. And this is conclude my presentation. And I'm more than happy to respond to any questions.
Thank you, Dr. Wael. For sure, your points are very important. Building an AI-based ecosystem is not an easy thing, especially in the region. And like you said, in countries with high population, to sum up, you have talked about that we have challenges in owning the technology, in building a healthy ecosystem and innovative ecosystem that supports the entrepreneurs and the funding. We have a challenge in the legalities, and we have a challenge as well in the data and the security and using the immersive technology on top of that. Thank you, Dr. Wael. Are there any comments or questions? Respectful attendees? Oh, I think we have reached to the end of this topic. From Professor Wael. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. And I'll be around because I'm listening to the whole show, so I'm really enjoying it. But as I apologize, that's in my time, it's 4:15, so I was just going from the university to home. But I will catch up and I'll be with you.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Dr. Marwa, we can discuss the importance of AI with respect to the economy. Now, you know the outcomes of the AI with respect to the economy. Now, all the countries is transfer from traditional economy to digital economy, and the digital economy needs a new tools, specifically the 21st century having latest technology and latest tool. And the most important tool, it's the AI. Then the applications of the AI will be entering in all our levels of the life, specifically in the health sector, in the also in the financial sectors, and also in engineering sectors, and all the life sectors. And everybody know in the pandemic COVID-19, which lead to solve the problems in the COVID-19, AI tools and innovation helping nation to reaching the new vaccine to solving this problem. Then the AI, it is one of the important elements for 21st century. And you know now, the AI having new jobs and a new productivity rate, and also creating a new job. Really, there are disappearing for some jobs, but there are also producing several sectors and several new job creation. You can also present from your side, Dr. Marwa, and speaking about
Absolutely.
the AI and importance.
Yeah, I have a request from Mr. Mustafa to recap what Professor Wael said. So I'll recap it quickly till we have the upcoming presentation. Actually, Dr.
Unfortunately, Mr. Nawaf having
is here.
Mr.
Okay.
Nawaf have difficulties in. Yes, no, he is here, but
Okay.
have difficulties in technical issue. I don't know, maybe he is now not in the room, and we can continue together till shifting to the next session together. You can recap Professor Wael topic, and we can also discuss together about the importance of AI for our countries and for the next centuries.
Yeah, because I believe that Dr. Hanadi, what the points Professor Wael has discussed and presented are the main topics and the main challenges we have to work on in our region, in the MENA sector, in Egypt, and in the Gulf as well. We have 4 points that Professor Dr. Wael has mentioned are the challenges and are the main challenges in using and adopting the AI technologies in our real life. Among them, or the first one, he said that we have to own the technology. We have basically to own the technology that we're going to be using. We have to own our data centers, our cloud-based environment in order to have or to adopt the AI applications in a normal way and in a smooth way without having risks of adopting them on the cloud area, not in the region, so that when we have a disaster, for example, or a change in the policies or something, we wouldn't have any risk, and we wouldn't waste our time to find other backup solutions. We have to start from now, actually, to own our data centers and to own our platforms. This is the point number 1 that Professor Dr. Wael said. The point number 2 is that to have, I'll say them, but not in a sequential one. We have to own and to build up a healthy, innovative environments. What is meant by healthy? That we have to remove any boundaries or any obstacles from the legal and from the legalities perspective. We have to build strong ecosystems that is based on strong communications between all the stakeholders in the ecosystems, in this ecosystem, starting from the fundraisers till the incubators, and ending with the main stakeholder or the major player in this ecosystem, which is the innovator himself or herself. So we, to complement this issue or this part, we here in Egypt are trying to build a healthy environment by giving the incubators and the fundraiser a boost and a number of actions to build this healthy ecosystem, but we didn't reach to the top of building it in the right way. We still have challenges, actually. The point number 3 that Professor Dr. Wael has discussed or has made it clear is that we have to build our regulations and our data support and data control systems. We have to build our systems to secure our data, especially in countries with large populations as Egypt. And I think the other countries are ought to have this point right and clear, and have a control system that is clear and is self-managed as per the data for the governmental agencies or for the educational entities or any other data. During the pandemic, we tried to solve the problem of having our own healthcare platforms that are dependent from the other platforms, because actually during the pandemic, each society has proven to have its unique reactions towards this pandemic, or this from the diagnosis up till the healthcare plan, the personalized healthcare plan that is ought to be built for each group of people in a specific area, so that the Europeans are far from, or are changed from the Egyptians, are changed from the South, Korean or something. So to sum up, Professor Wael had made it, clear to all of us that the major challenges in the AI and in adopting the AI systems in the Arab region have major challenges. We have major challenges that we need to, force action plans to eliminate them, and to have a healthy environment which is based on the AI technologies, which is not adopting only AI technologies, but which is innovating new platforms that are based on AI technologies, whether in the fintech, in the edutech, in the agri-tech, and in the other technology field. I hope I made it clear, Mr. Mustafa.
Actually, I like your summarization. I didn't think I talk about that much high level, but I really love it together. But this is wild, badawy. And I can say one more thing, which is, I know we are not here to judge anything, but what's happening right now in the Middle East, it demonstrates immediately that we need our social platform. We need our own different things to keep our Arabic fingerprint. Very closely on AI, you will need the same. You'll need our own ChatGPT, because our language, our dialect are different. Our concepts, our even like in Mid-Journey right now, if you write Egyptian, you will get somebody Ruk Arabian with a turban and a beard. You will not get a standard Egyptian you see in the street. And when I would like to see an Iraqi or a Saudi or a Kuwaiti, the characters will come from Mid-Journey is not reflecting our society. So I cannot find thank you words to tell you really appreciate your summary, but this is how people can brainstorm about what do we need to have our own infrastructure, our own hardware, our own models, our own data. And as I said, I'm always in the conference for any other intervention. Highly thank you very much. Highly appreciate it.
Actually, thank you, dear Professor. We have a question from Mr. Ibrahim about how powerful is AI in Arabic compared to English, and what is needed to catch up. So this is, to me, is an important question that is needed to be, and a challenge that it needed to be also focused on.
My input to you is very strong as English, because they teach the new AI using online and internet data. So as much as we have powerful powerful digital content on our websites, and these people have access to this content, they will build a very strong large language models, our LLM, which is translated to ChatGPT. The difficulties we have is as Balkan countries or Dawal al-Balkan. So Balkan made an agreement with ChatGPT to retain and secure the Balkan language, which is actually language which will disappear. So we should find a fund and way to maintain our Egyptian Arabic, our Kuwaiti Arabic, our Kuwaiti dialect. According to missionaries, we have 27 different Arabic language with close to 168 dialects, which means that the people who come as a missionary, they speak this Arabic language, like Moroccan Arabic against Egyptian Arabic, and they understand this as a different language. And I have to go with this classifier because this is the people who studied us better than our lovely friendship and the brotherhood as Arabs. So we need to do something so the AI will understand. But I'm telling you, it's a very strong, but it is not practiced or is not experienced, is not exercised, because the number of Arabic users on this platform till now are minor percentage compared to the English ones. But the training is there, the network is there, the model is there. And this is my immediate answer to your question. I hope I answered the question correctly.
We already have a data set and we can work on, inshallah. Thank you, Professor Wael, and continuing this session with Mr. Nawaf. Thank you, sir, for your valuable contribution.
I am here, Nabil Nassaf. I'm on behalf of Mr. Nawaf Alshaya. I will offer the presentation.
Hello, Mr. Nabil. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm fine.
Would you please start?
Is it my presentation shared with you?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I will start. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Today we are going to talk about nanotechnology because this is the feature that is our company. Let's start to talk about the nanotechnology. Depends mainly on the detection of the properties of materials after they turn into small parts and atoms. The more the size of the material or molecular changes, the different properties detected. This modern technology studies the properties of atoms after they are exposed to division and apply their use in many fields. Now, to talking about company, our company is considered one of the most important pioneer companies in that field in the Middle East region regarding nanotechnology applications and the products. We have the expertise of dealing with nanotechnology installations for all outside surfaces. We're talking about outside and inside. About the surfaces to add the protection specifications with high standards against many different impulses, affecting the surfaces from direct or indirect reasons. Now, if we talk about these nanotechnology insulations, they are different to be coated for different places. For example, here for the fabric textile, for the anti-rust, for the metal, for the plastic, for the wood, for the marble, for the stone, for the glass, and for the solar panels. Here are some of the examples that we have applied in different places. For the marble, as we have said, for the stone, for the wood, and here for the metal. And many, many applications that we can talk about it later. Today, we will focus on the solar panels and see what we can add of new solutions. This is one of the most important things, and we have seen that all of the companies and the government looking about the solar panels, how they can get use of it. Before we starting, we have to know and understand how the solar panel is working and what we can do about the problems of if there is any problems to avoid. Let's start with this short video.
The Earth intercepts a lot of solar power, 173,000 terawatts. That's 10,000 times more power than the planet's population uses. So is it possible that one day the world could be completely reliant on solar energy? To answer that question, we first need to examine how solar panels convert solar energy to electrical energy. Solar panels are made up of smaller units called solar cells. The most common solar cells are made from silicon, a semiconductor that is the second most abundant element on Earth. In a solar cell, crystalline silicon is sandwiched between conductive layers. Each silicon atom is connected to its neighbors by 4 strong bonds, which keep the electrons in place so no current can flow. Here's the key. A silicon solar cell uses 2 different layers of silicon. An N-type silicon has extra electrons, and P-type silicon.
Now, let's move another step. What are the challenges against the solar panels? First of all, we have the negative affection of high temperature. It is very important to talk about the high temperature. Now we can see there is a loss of between 3.6 to 5% for every extra 10 degrees than the standard testing conditions, STC. 25 degrees, these are the standard testing conditions, which means if the temperature is 55, for example, so the loss, it will be between 13 to 15% of the solar panel effort capacity. Another thing, it's orientation and tilt angle. This is depending according to the geographic place for the plant. The solar panel should be fixed directly to face the sun tilt angle, which enables it to get a high quantity of radiation at the peak of the sun. Here is which we mean about the peak of the sun. Circulation from east to west. Every mistake of 5 degrees will make a loss of between 3 to 4% of solar effect. Another thing, the sun radiation square coverage. According to the standard testing conditions, every square meter should receive about 1,000 watts of sun radiation. But this quantity is different from one area to another. For example, in Europe, it's less than that. It's about 500. But in some places with high radiation, it could be 2,000 or 3,000. If the radiation received is 500 watt, then the solar effort production will be 175 watt instead of the 350, which is already written about the solar panel. Another thing, it's about the dust and the dirt. Dust and dirt and the bird droppings are preventing solar cells to receive the radiation to the cell. It should be cleaned twice a month in desert areas, and it should be twice a week in the deserted areas. One more thing, it's about the cloudy weather and shadows, preventing the solar panel to receive the sun radiation. Number 6 is about the sandstorm, which causes the scratches of solar surfaces. We are talking about all the problems that faces why we are not depending or relying on the solar panels at all. Even if we know that about at the first we have mentioned about 173,000 terabyte coming to the earth from radiation every day. Another thing, we are talking about the reflexive radiation from the surface, which means it's not all the radiation it's consumed. Now, we have to look about how we can solve this matter with nanotechnology. We want to invent robots that can deal with these problems and overcome these obstacles. Let's start now about the 2 theories about Wenzel and Cassie Dexter. One talking about the hydrophobic and one talk about the hydrophilic, which is how I can prevent the water or I want to absorb the water. These are two theories. So according to the solar panels, we see it depends on the geographic location. And now we are advising here in our Arabian countries, in Arabian Peninsula, to use the hydrophobic. Hydrophobic, it will make the drops of water like the bells, and it will drop and take all the dirt with it. Also, the nano coatings, it will cover everything of the surface and make it smooth and tough. Number two, it will cover the surface with ceramic nano coating particles to be solid, smooth, and anti-scratch. Number three, it's absorbing the sun radiation, because these materials of insulations are going to absorb the even not only the visible or the infrared, but also the UV, and it will get use of that. For example, here one of the microscopic photos show these dots of the photon, but using the nano coatings, it became 3 times better. So absorbing sun radiation by gathering photons 3 times better than usual and preventing from reflection. Here we have example about how we have applied in the University of Alexandria. We have applied this coating for one of the solar panel, and they do the test about that, and we have the reports about that. Let's see. Here we are applying the nano coating on the surface, which is the ceramic coating, SiO2. And here we have the test in the University of Alexandria. Here is a comparison between the coated and non-coated. And here is the reports that has been sent from the university. If we just want to mention that increasing the generating capacity by 4% in all periods for the solar window of the solar cell coated with nano coating hydrophobic 9H, especially in the presence of ultraviolet rays. This reflected into increased productivity, especially in solar power plants with large capacities. And here we have another example that we have applied here in Kuwait for the Department of Traffic. We have applied these nano insulations, but with the use of forklift, clean it and apply it. Now, we have talking about these nanomaterials according to the 2 kinds of solar panels, which is monocrystalline or polycrystalline. Now we have another new step forward by using these coatings on the glass, and how we can change the glass to be solar panel by itself. Let's see how. Now we have 2 slices of these glasses. One is coated with one material which called TiO2, which is titanium dioxide. And here we dipped in the, just to be colored. This TiO2 slice, it will absorb the photons, and it will be one of the, if we say it will be the anode. So we need the cathode. We use the other slice of glass and covered with the graphene from the pencil. Now it will be the cathode. Now we have 2 poles. we will gather two poles and let the light to be the only passage for these glasses. Because we have the closed kerset. Now the photons will pass and will change these glasses to be solar cell. We use that electrolyte iode to be the transmitter between the photons, between the electrons. Shows us to put 2 or 3 drops of the iodine. It's going to be the electrolyte liquid gathered between these 2 slices of glass, and then we will direct to the light, and then we will have this new solar cell from glass. Now you will see the fan start to work by the passage of the electricity. Another new step, which is invented about the carbon nanotubes, it will be instead of the silicon. And finally, I would like to thank you for this time, to be attending with us. And I hope that I have given you a good idea about our works. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ayman, for the comprehensive presentation and for the very, very important field, which is the nanotechnology based solutions, and for the immersive efforts you are doing, having this coming to life and in production, in the actual production. This is really, boosting the technology and boosting this type of industry.
Thank you. This is nice of you. And there's a lot of things we can do, but it's just about the time that we are focused on just one of the matters of the solar panels.
I think the beauty of what you presented is the collaboration of the researchers or the research centers in the universities to prove to have your MVP and to prove the concepts. So this is really proud-worthy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions from the attendees?
I have a question. Because we have been in Canada watching lots of similar technology for post-coating. So the question is, in our region, when we don't have manufacturers for this kind of solar system, how do you see we can use this coating? Will be just a user or someone who will do it for a small project, or we will be in a position somewhere where we can buy this technology, these products, and do a direct deposition of such a nanotechnology coating. يعني أنا بسأل على ما مدى تصنيع هذه التكنولوجيا في مصر أو في الدول العربية يعني.
Yes, I got the idea. Now this is depending on the region because it's different from geographic place to another. We have to apply to see it is suitable to apply to these nano insulations. Is it hydrophilic or hydrophobic? Is it close to the seashore or it's in the desert or in the mountain? So we have to choose the suitable material among about 16 materials which is used and beneficial for the solar panels. This is number one. Number two, we can train anybody from your side to tell him how he can apply and what are the principles, what are the steps to follow. Is it okay?
Yes, thank you for the answer. So what I understand, that this is post-processing after we acquire the technology. We don't need to be at the factory where we manufacture solar panels. Thank you. I highly appreciate your answer.
Thank you. We can add it from the factory, from the first production, but this is depending, as I told you, to the location, because it's different from one location to another, and according to the weather circumstances.
Okay, thank you, Professor Wael. We have another question from Ali about what are the properties that you are evaluating while working with the nanotechnologies materials. I think he's asking about the criteria of evaluating our nanotechnologies materials.
He wants evaluating about the markets, about the public, about the people, about the education, about the services. What about?
He's asking about the materials you are using and the criteria of evaluating it to, to maintain a high standard of quality, I think.
This is depending on the surface that we are dealing with. It depends what is the suitable material that we are going to do. Is it enough for one layer or two layers? What is the specifications we want to apply? Is it to be, for example, anti-scratch? Is it for the gloss? Is it for the anti-rust, anti-corrosion? So it's different from one material to another. And according to the surface that we are going to apply, is it a wood? Is it plastic? Is it outside or inside? Is it want to be thermal or non-thermal? So these are to take in granted.
Okay. Have we got other questions from the respectful attendees? So thank you, dear, for your elaborations and your comprehensive presentation. We for sure made, you enlightened a very important topic, and I'm sure that we will have it towards the future to be productized and to make a booming in this business and in this field.
Thank you. And we are ready for any question, for any suggestion, for anything to be for help, for training, for anything, because we are agent for the whole Middle East, and we can do samples, we can do many advices about that for long expert, more than 10 years about these materials.
Actually, we have another question from Nepal. How are you doing? He has a question about how can we address the energy crisis and combat global warming through innovative and sustainable solutions. I think this is the right place to talk about such solutions, as we are talking about the nanotechnology and how to switch the surfaces to to generate electricity and so on. And he's asking as well about what role can technology, policies, and international collaboration play in mitigating these challenges. From your perspective, sir, what are the challenges you faced doing this business and doing this project, and how are the political and the challenges in the environment as well have affected you?
I think this is depending about how to educate the people about this matter, because they are accustomed to use, let's say, the ordinary materials. Now, if we are talking about the nanotechnology, it's completely different to be compared with any another insulation. This is number one. Number two, it's about how we can let our voice and our documents, our reports, our certificates to be presented for the ministries, and they are, let's say, welcomed, and they are able to understand this matter. If you are facing someone who couldn't understand these matters about explaining about the nanotechnology, it's hard to be acceptable even in the ministries, not only for the people. So this is the matter of educating the public about this matter, and then everything will be solved easily. Now, according to the warming about the world global warming, I didn't mention one important thing about the solar panels. One of the materials we applied, which was called the titanium dioxide, if we apply it, it's not only for the more photons and more protection, it will be cleaning the world. How is that? It will absorb all the carbon dioxide, monoxide, about all the pollutants, and even more, it will capture and kill the bacteria and virus in the air. So if we apply it in the solar panels or on any surface for the buildings, it will clean the atmosphere outside. So there is a lot of benefits if we explain about every material by itself. So it's important to explain about that and educate the people and the public about that.
So the awareness is the most important point here, actually.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir, for the elaboration and for your comprehensive material presented. I think we are coming to the end of this session. I thank you very much for being with you, and thank you, Dr. Hanadi, for letting me there manage this session.
With a pleasure. I'm greatly thankful for this invitation.
Great. Thanks, Dr. Marwa Suleiman, for your participation and running this important sessions for our conference, the AI and the outcomes of the AI and best practices of the AI.